How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. It's nice here in Michigan, about 63 degrees. I got the transmission dropped out of the Ford, just got it out, and it's disgusting. I'll show you guys in here. The transmission is sitting right there. I'm gonna put my glove on here. There's a crap load of clutch material you see in here, and I can barely spin. You can see right there, I can barely spin the throwout bearing, the slave cylinder actually, the throwout. Look at this thing. Look at the clutch material in here. This thing, I haven't removed the clutch yet. I just now dropped the transmission in this. And that, my friends, were a pain in the ass. I do not want to remove a transmission again. A clutch out of a front wheel drive vehicle. The freaking CV shafts were a bitch. But this thing is not smooth whatsoever. There's nothing in there. I find out more when I pull all this apart. I'll get this out. The new clutch kit came with it. I'll clean this. I probably get some brake cleaner. And like I said, I haven't removed the clutch yet. But just seeing the condition of this, I think that's my problem. I think this went bad. I guarantee probably there's nothing there. It's notchy. Let me stop talking. You can probably hear it. It's not smooth. You can see there's a spring in there, of course, it's in there. But if you guys hear, listen to that. Oh, that's horrible. And let's see here. Turn the light on, but oops. That made a little bit of a mess down there. The fluid's gonna get changed anyway. There's the clutch. That's gonna be removed probably tomorrow. Maybe today. I don't know. I'm gonna get my floor jack under here and jack it up, and I'll remove those bolts. I don't know what size those are. They look like 10 millimeter maybe. Comment below if you guys know what size bolt that is. But you can see the clutch material inside the fingers there. Another thing, when I was prying on it, good line broke. Piece of shit Ford. But small victories, folks. I got the transmission out. And a little dirty. See what I placed last time on this hunk of junk was last summer. 300 and some odd, 200 some odd bucks for this. Another $100. I got off Rock Auto. Another 116 for that. I think it was just a stock replacement. Shit that's even in here, man. Look at this crap. Damn. And you can see, I got my winch holding up this engine. I'll jack this motor back up some more and get it level. Because this is, only thing it's holding it's here. And the strap here. I had to move the floor jack of the way to get this heavy beast out of there. And then I'll show you this side right here. This one was a bitch. Getting that out of the hub. I still got it attached, but it all came down in one unit. But guys, I'm gonna remove that slave cylinder. I'll probably do another video on that, how nasty it is. I don't know what size bolts those are yet. Like I said, it just dropped it. Like I said, small victories. I'd rather pull my Vette transmission 10 times than messing with this motherfucker. Excuse my language. But yeah. That was a bitch. And the Vette is not easy either because it has the torque arm that goes across and getting the bolts out. But at least I can use my tranny jack somewhere over there properly, because it's just too awkward to fit on it. So the fun part is, I'm gonna remove this and clean this up. I'm gonna remove this. I got a new one. Then I also got to figure out how you bleed this. I think it's up here. I think you bleed it and lock it back into place, I think. It's done. Then I gotta get a small hose and just fix that with a small hose right here, and call it good. Because it looks like it goes from here into this, and then it just claps into place. Same thing with there. I don't know if I can get a new one of these. I'll go down to Ford when I get out of work tomorrow and find out how much this costs. If it costs us too much, we'll just use a hose to fix it. We can't, but my luck is probably from China, and it probably costs an arm and a leg. But small victories, like I said. Tranny's out. Now it's going to be time to clean it up. Pull the clutch and see how bad the flywheel is. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm just going to throw this thing back together and maybe send this car on its merry way. I do want to replace the window motor on the passenger side, so both those windows work. And I don't know, guys. I will not do this again on a front wheel drive vehicle. Maybe just not on maybe not on a Ford. I don't know how much of a pain in the ass this is on other vehicles. The CV axles, actually, unbolting the transmission was not hard, okay? Easy access from the top. The CV axle is what fought me in the ball, in trying to get the ball joints out of the control arms were a chore out here in Michigan because of the salt and crap. Unbolting it was easy. Getting those CV's axles out were a joke. It took a lot of hammering, a lot of pounding, a lot of research on YouTube how to get those out. I don't know if I can. I'm going to ask a mechanic. I might do, if this ever happens, maybe the future owner of this vehicle or whatever, maybe I should put a little bit of anti-seize on the splines just to make it easier. I don't know. I don't think this has ever been replaced before on this car. But send some comments below if you had a better idea of doing this. I just followed a bunch of channels on YouTube. A lot of them were on the dual clutch transmissions. Not too much of them on the 5-speed manual on it, but it should be the same thing with the CV axles. There might be a little difference between the manual and the automatic, but the way they put in the transmission into the hubs and stuff. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day.